Hello, this is Colleen Shoemaker with the League of Women Voters of Portland, and you are watching the Video Voters Guide. We, in conjunction with MetroEast Community Media, are here to talk with candidates running in the May 2020 primary election. With me today is Lori Stegmann, running for County Commission Position 4. Welcome, Lori.
Thank you.
Please tell us a little about yourself, why you are running for this office, and what unique characteristics you have among all the candidates for this office.
Thank you for the question. Yes, so I am currently the District 4 Multnomah County Commissioner, so I am the incumbent. And a little bit about me, about why I love being a county commissioner and want to continue for another 4 years, is that I was adopted, so I'm an immigrant, a minority, I'm a small business owner, and a mom. I grew up in Gresham in the Rockwood neighborhood, which is one of the poorest neighborhoods arguably maybe in the state. So I recognize what some of the challenges are that folks who grow up or live in poverty experience. And I feel like my background and my life story, I feel really blessed and fortunate because I really have lived the American dream. Being adopted, coming over to this country when I was 6 months old, there were many children who did not survive. I was born in Seoul, South Korea, and some of the viewers may have heard of Holt International. And Harry Holt and Bertha Holt saw a need to rescue thousands of Korean orphans in the late 1950s and early 60s because quite literally these babies were starving and dying. So I've always felt really incredibly blessed to be a US citizen and very proud of my heritage and proud to be an American citizen. And I've lived that American dream. And I know that when folks are given the opportunity to thrive and to grow, that they can really do so if given the opportunities that they need. And so I feel really blessed, and that's what I want to do, is really share my lived experience so that others can experience the same types of things that I did. And you know, I tell people I think I turned out pretty good. I have a small business, and I've been an elected, and I am just so privileged in many ways that I feel like if all of our community members were offered these same types of services and help along the way, that they too can thrive. And I really want to make sure that those less fortunate are not forgotten.
Thank you. How do you think the members of the Multnomah County Commission should address the issues caused by the COVID-19 pandemic and its effects on the county health system and its homeless services?
Yeah, that's a great question, Colleen. There's so much that we have done in a very, very short period of time. In less than a month, Multnomah County has stood up 450 beds in our houseless emergency shelters. So as we all know, social, or actually it's called physical distancing now, is what we need to do in order to control this pandemic. So we've added 450 beds to our 18 shelters because we want to make sure that houseless folks can maintain that physical distancing. We've also added about 120 beds for folks that might be discharged from the hospital or who might be experiencing symptoms. And then we've also invested in a lot of folks are at risk or experiencing domestic violence. So we've invested in motel vouchers for that at-risk population. We've also expanded food. We've invested $260,000 through our Joint Office of Homeless Services because we know that houseless residents, those folks don't have access to the same types of things that most of us have. So we enacted our first emergency declaration in March, on March 11th. And then just last week, our board extended that emergency declaration for another 90 days. And what the first declaration really did is it included an eviction moratorium for our renters. We know that people that are renting, we want to make sure that they have housing stability. And so this extension is for an additional 90 days. And we want to just make sure that people have safe housing and that they don't have to move around a lot in the community.
Thank
We've also, oh, go ahead.
Well, I'd like to have time for some more questions.
Sure.
Is that all right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what role can the county government play in making housing more affordable?
Yeah, so some of the things that we've done in housing is what I would like to do is something around a community land trust. And for those folks who maybe haven't heard of that, that's where if the county owns property, sometimes we get properties reverted back to us if property taxes are not paid. So what I'd like to see is a potential program where we take those properties, we have them remodeled, and then we can sell them to low-income families. Then we bank the land, meaning that we keep ownership of the land, and then that family can buy the house at a reduced price. And then later on, if that family decides to move, they can sell that house and they can take their equity with them. And then because we own the county land, then we are able to resell that property to another low-income family. So it's really about providing more units that are more affordable for more folks.
Thank you. How do you assess the state of mental health treatment in the county, and what opportunities exist for positive change?
That's definitely an area where we need more resources. So one of the things that I've been really happy about is that the county recently purchased a building in downtown Portland. This will be our first behavioral resource center. And we hope to have about 42 beds of emergency shelter along with 30 longer term kind of transitional housing. And this will be a place where folks can come and get a meal, they can store their belongings in lockers, they can get mental health, they can work with our providers in employment search, they can have access to a computer. So this is an area where we really need to have more investments, and one of the most pressing issues that we really have. And as we all know, there have been disinvestments in mental health. So anything that the county can do to make sure that there are more resources, I want to be really supportive of.
Thank you. We have just about a minute left. So with this question, the National Association for the Education of Young Children surveyed its member daycare providers and preschools and learned that a significant number would not survive a pandemic-related closure of more than 2 weeks. Does the county have a role in ensuring working parents have a place where their children can receive care?
Yes, I believe that we do. Commissioner Vega Peterson, my fellow commissioner, has been leading the charge on a preschool for all task force. So we've done a deep dive in looking at what recommendations should be made to address childcare. So things like capping preschool costs to like 7% of a household income, and then also addressing having more culturally specific early childhood care is really important, and then how we deliver that care as well. So they're looking at all those different types of opportunities. We know that childcare is so expensive that the investment, the return for every dollar that we invest is $7 to $10 that we get back in return. And then at the county level, as you know, we have many essential workers. We've been trying to help support our essential workers by helping to subsidize their childcare services as well.
Well, thank you very much for that.
Thank
And
you.
thank you for your time. This has been the Video Voters Guide. Thank you for watching. The primary election is Tuesday, May 19th. Be sure to inform yourself about the candidates and the ballot measures and exercise your right to vote.